Today's topic is about fair housing, Section 8, and SB 329. The fair housing laws are the anti-discrimination laws that property owners should be worried about. They carry a maximum penalty of $21,663 for a first violation, and that does not include lawsuits, which may be much higher. SB 329 was signed into law in 2020 and began in January of 2021. Property owners could no longer refuse to accept housing vouchers as a form of income. If property owners have to accept vouchers, that comes with HUD inspections. I am not a lawyer, and this is not legal advice. Please have a conversation with your attorney on how this affects you and your property. California housing laws prohibit discrimination in housing based on race, color, ancestry, national origin, religion, age, sexual orientation, gender identity, marital status, family status, citizenship and immigration status, primary language, military or veteran status, medical conditions, disabilities, either mental or physical, genetic information, criminal history, and any arbitrary characteristics, and source of income, for an example of Section 8 vouchers. This applies to rental property owners, operators, as well as landlords and property managers. These laws apply to all aspects of the rental process, including advertising, showing units, processing applications and screening, and setting rental terms and conditions. Landlords and property managers may not refuse to rent to someone or offer different terms or conditions to a tenant based on the protected classes. Additionally, California law requires landlords to make reasonable accommodations for tenants with disabilities and to allow tenants to make reasonable modifications to their units. For example, handholds in showers or wheelchair ramps at stairs. Senate Bill 329 was passed in 2020 and put in place in 2021, and it expanded the fair housing laws to include prohibiting discrimination based on a person's source of income, which includes refusing to rent to someone, changing the terms or conditions based solely on their source of income, which includes things like housing vouchers, Section 8, child support, and alimony. Property owners are no longer allowed to advertise strictly for these tenants either. This bill also makes it so that a landlord cannot ask a tenant to disclose their source of income. Now, I've reduced my risk by hiring a third party to do my screening, background, and income verification for me, and then I just get a printout. It basically says yes or no. So if they have any discriminatory claims, I can pass it on to the third party. Property owners must maintain consistent screening criteria across the board. This includes their voucher tenants who are approved based on their tenant's portion of the rent, along with the security being based on that portion also. For example, if your rent criteria is that the residents must earn 3 times the amount of rent every month, an owner has to consider 3 times the amount that the resident portion is paying. So if a resident is responsible for $300 of the rental payment, then the resident's income needs to meet or exceed $900. And the same is true for the security deposit. That would be based on the $300 a month rent. So if you're collecting 1 month of rent for a security deposit, it would then be $300. Now, if you are accepting a voucher resident, then you must have a HUD inspection done. If you would like to see a complete copy of a HUD Inspection Checklist, there's a link in the description. The inspection is similar to a move-in, move-out inspection, and the property owner should be conducting already. The inspector that comes out from HUD is making sure that the home is safe and habitable. Yes, the home may need a few repairs after the inspection, but these are repairs that should have been completed anyways. Things the inspector is looking for is that all of the fixtures, outlets, and appliances are in working order. There's no peeling paint, exposed wires. The bathroom is fully functional. Window panes are not broken. There's no major trip hazards. And there's no lead-based paint. The tenant must have the ability to be able to secure the home. These are basic things that we would all expect. Now, to our benefit, near the end of the checklist, there's also an inspection for the inspector to note improvements that may justify an allowance for a higher rent market. Please remember, the end result of the inspection is based on the inspector's observations, and these may vary depending on which inspector you have. Now, under the Act, it only states that housing quality standards must meet safety and habitable housing provided by the Secretary for purpose of local housing codes, so it must meet or exceed housing quality standards. Now, this is extremely vague, and from my understanding, this means as long as you meet local code enforcement laws and health and safety laws, your property should be okay for this inspection. But that's my interpretation, and what do I know? Property owners need to make sure they are following the legal requirements and considering Section 8 applications and not just denying them to avoid any possible charges of discrimination. Those can lead to very large lawsuits. Thank you for watching. If there are any topics you would like me to cover, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a nice day.